I know a lot of people are out there are across the world are for socialism, but the second you make socialism or communism, you are taking away people's individuality. You are taking away everything different and mass producing it into one solid thing. And that is taking away what the human race is and what stands for. There's always going to be difference. There always has and there always will be differences in success. And the moment that you change that, you're changing what we are, and you're turning us into robots and cattle, where there's no difference. You're taking away incentive. You're taking away progression. You're basically taking, when you create communism, you're basically taking the highest people and bringing them down to the lowest level, and then everyone's just at the lowest level. And you cannot create a balanced, as you would like to call it, socialist government where everyone is considered with equal wealth without the government themselves getting involved, with a totalitarian government getting involved. Because you need a government with rules and power over that to create that socialist state, which is not a natural state. Because, granted, libertarian or Republican state would be the natural state. So you need a government to enforce that inflated, false sense of class system of equality. So you basically have to give the power to the government to create that, and therefore you're taking away us. You're making us into cattle, that we are just there for the taming. We're just there to be molded into the same caste, and that's taking away everything that the human race stands for. That is not pro-humanity. That is anti-humanity. And even on socialism or communism, I mean, you look at communism. I mean, the Russians, Cuba, North Korea, China, Ethiopia, all these countries that have been communists have never really gotten anywhere. I mean, they've never found utopia or what they were aiming for, like a utopia. So, I mean, we as capitalists in America have gotten a lot closer to utopia than anywhere else, and there's always going to be someone who's down. I mean, even if you use social programs and socialism to artificially inflate people and make the system of everyone with the equal wealth, you are still going to have people who are not going to work, and people will look at that and say, you know what, I work harder than them, I should have more money, or people like me more. Like, if you have two people doing this job and someone does 3 times more work and people like them more and they get more things done, or as someone that doesn't do work and just argues, under like a communist ideal, they both get paid the same amount. I mean, communism is not right. I mean, to tell someone which jobs to do. I mean, socialism in general is not natural. We do not need that kind of thing because we take away everything. And the same goes with any tax base, because who gives the government a right to take our taxes? I mean, that's why I'm for not having property taxes or income tax. I mean, I think it is very fair to have only taxes on items, because if you don't want to pay the tax, you don't buy items, and you're going to buy items anyway. And I think that's fair, because it's not like you have a gun loaded to your head telling you have to pay taxes or you have to give to this, because that's not fair. Like, I mean, it's not fair for the government to really have that kind of control, because we don't need that kind of control. There's no need for it. It's only a need within ourselves, a fear that we think we need it. And that minute you do that, you're telling the government, I am weak, I need help. And you're giving them power. And government's a dangerous thing. So look at all the fascist dictatorships, all the genocides we've had in the world. 175 million people were killed by their governments in the last century. I mean, we don't need to give the government more power. And there's just no call for it. Whether it's socialism or conservatism, such as telling people not to get married, or telling people they can't use drugs, or putting people in prison, or the military, it all is taking away what humanity stands for, which is individuality. We do not need that. Like, if we have a problem with people being poor, we can make our own programs to help that. We don't need to have the government put a gun to someone's head, and if they don't pay that taxes, put them in jail, because that's not right either, if you really think about it. And there's nothing stopping us from doing the same kind of thing. I mean, with this kind of system, there's nothing stopping people from making their own communes. I mean, you have religious communes, you have hippie compounds, and if you like the communist ideals, then make your own commune. And I'm all for that, and I'm for more state control. I mean, I think the states have a lot more say in ideals than they do. And the government really shouldn't have the right to really tell you exactly everything you can do. I mean, it's not right. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's either pay taxes, go to jail. I mean, if you smoke pot, you go to jail. Get abortion. I mean, why should the government have the control over it? It's our own insecurities, and we have to get rid of these insecurities ourselves and not give power to these people. And that's why I am what you'd call a libertarian. I don't think the government has the right to really tell us anything to do. I mean, there's a limited amount that we need to have functional, but everything else I think we can handle on ourselves. The minute we don't think we can handle it, we're lying down like a bunch of bitches, and I ain't no bitch.